Okay, I think we can get started. A very warm welcome on a sunny day here in Toronto. It's a nice change after a couple of days of cloudy and snowy gloom. At the outset, a huge thanks to everyone who has joined us today on this session. This is not just another webinar. The focus of today's session is to give everyone a very hands-on experience using the Wellness Declaration feature on our BioConnect mobile app. A couple of caveats here. I do hope that everyone who is joining us today is from the North American region, just because the BioConnect mobile is currently available for the North American region. Having said that, I know we are today joined by many of our partners and system integrators. If there is a use case for outside of North America, no problem at all. Of the BioConnect mobile app can be made available for any part of the world. Just please feel free to reach out to us, and then we can get you set up for those things. Again, this session is going to be very informal. Like as I said, this is very hands-on. This is not going to be a lot of like wisdom sharing session. We want to keep it as interactive as possible. So please feel free to engage. Um, doesn't matter if you have got like, kids in the background, your pets like scampering around, everything is okay and everything is fine. If you have any questions, you have any clarifications, I have an eminent group of my colleagues who are working on behind the scenes in order to make this a grand success and make it as engaging as possible for each one of you. So they will be on standby to answer any questions, or if you have any issues in terms of accessing the solution, they should be able to help you out. This morning, I believe you all may have received an email basically talking about downloading, how you can download the app. So I believe all of you may have already downloaded the BC mobile app. If not, you can just go to the Google Play Store if you're on Android, or the App Store if you're on iPhone, and search for BioConnect Mobile, and you should be able to download the app. Now, for the structure of the session today, it's going to be very simple. We are going to spend about 5 to 6 minutes initially with a brief overview about the whole Wellness Declaration feature. This includes a couple of minutes of video about a live use case that is currently in the field in one of the iconic places here in Toronto. And then we will jump right into the fun aspect of doing the more hands-on experience about how this whole solution works. So without much further ado, let's get started. As you know that, let me see. Okay, there you go. So it is no longer a surprise that the pandemic has, of course, caused a massive transition and shift in the way we've been doing business. This is especially true from the context of security, as has been traditionally viewed, right? There were these paradigms where, in order to ensure that a person is the right person, there were three dimensions of what you know, what you own, and who you are. The who you are factor being that of biometrics. But thanks to the pandemic, that is no longer the case. It is no longer sufficient. There is now an added dimension of how you are that has to be determined before, even if the person is the right person, they are allowed to come into the physical premises. So there is a need to tie digital security rules to the physical presence now, especially when there is a distributed work environment. When not everyone is working from office, there is a need to ensure that the right person is gaining access. And that this right person is gaining access to the right company resources. How are we going to ensure this? Apart from that, of course, across the world, companies and governments are battling to contain the spread. There are regulations, there are practices that are being developed to reduce the spread and flatten the curve. These new regulations, for example, would require that the enterprise or the facility managers, they have to ensure that people, whoever are entering the premises, are doing so under the right conditions. What is their temperature? Are they wearing a face mask? Are they not experiencing any of these symptoms? The list of symptoms, whatever has been vetted by the World Health Organization or the provincial health department, all of these will now need to be monitored, will now have to be accounted for in order to ensure that people can return to the office in a safe manner. Thanks to all of the burst of vaccines that are happening in the market right now, we can foresee that very soon people will start returning, at least partly, to their workplaces, and it would be absolutely essential that there are going to be practices in place that is going to ensure a safe working environment for everybody. So essentially what is happening is that the security landscape is changing. The aspects of security are changing, and alongside the threat landscape is also changing. Therefore, the security systems that have been put in place cannot continue as they were before. These security systems should also be in step with all of these changes and continue to evolve and adapt, which is why there is a dire need for a platform based approach, which can reduce the total cost of ownership while assuring higher and adaptive security. So that brings us to the focus of our day today, which is multi-factor authentication with wellness declaration. Through BioConnect Mobile, users can now quickly complete a brief wellness survey to self-declare their state of wellness in order to gain entry to a physical facility. So that if they have not already done so, when a user taps the card in order to enter a physical location, they can receive a step-up verification which contains a brief wellness questionnaire that they can answer to confirm that they are in a proper healthy condition and meet the regulations that have been specified by either the government or the authorities who are managing the building. And then only they are going to be allowed entry into the premises. If they have already submitted their wellness declaration, then they can receive like a usual process of however they gain entry into the physical location, if whether it is a step up, whether it is a simple biometric authentication that they have to do. So there is a lot of adaptability that has been built in. There is also an additional capability that will be added into the solution where the users can display an approve to enter screen, so that if at any point in time they have to display that as a validation, they can also do that very easily. So thereby, what this offers is just a simple digital mode of declaring your readiness to enter the physical location with the convenience of your own handheld device. There are real-time alerts that can be configured into, say, Slack or Microsoft Teams, so that if someone has been denied entry because they failed the wellness declaration, there is an immediate alert that the system admins can also receive onto these devices, onto these apps. Sorry. So now that we have people who have come in from all different parts of Canada and US, I think it would be a good time to do a quick poll. So, Tina, if you would like to, can we do a quick poll and get some insights on how the conditions are in different geographies of the continent with respect to pandemic handling? Does your state or province, do they have new regulations or mandates that require you to track and monitor employee wellness and access during this pandemic? At this point, I think it is also going to be a good aspect for us to draw attention to that whatever questionnaire that you're seeing, you will be able to customize those questionnaires so that even if your state or province have a different set of questions that are required to be answered, then you can customize those questions very easily. We'll give it a couple of minutes. And while you're answering that, I think I'm also going to just play a very brief video. Well, there you go. We have Mr. Murphy kicking in. But I think, yeah, now it should be fine. This is just a brief video that showcases a live use case of the our deployment of the Wellness Declaration solution in one of the iconic landmark locations of Toronto. Are you able to hear the sound? With a show of hand, yes, no. Okay, perfect. BioConnect Wellness Declaration is chosen by Mars to have this solution. Once a user is deemed healthy enough to enter, they will be granted access and a detailed audit line will be kept.
Mars has chosen its primary entry point to initially deploy the solution. Their main reason for choosing BioConnect was to leverage a discrete, touchless technology that makes entry to the center seamless yet secure.
Perfect. So with that brief introduction, let's jump right into the fun part. So I believe that all of you may have received an email. Thanks to our team, they have put together they've made every effort to make this as seamless as possible. So you should have received an onboarding email this morning, essentially something that says like, your organization has invited you to use BioConnect Link as a two-factor authentication platform. There are links to download the app, whether you are downloading it from the App Store or Google Play. And once you have that, all you have to do is click on the Activate Device button in order to activate your BioConnect mobile app. Uh, so you should be able to see that when you click on the button, you should be able to see that there is going to be the BioConnect mobile app is going to launch. A couple of watch outs here. I'm not sure if people are working under like, a VPN access, or they have like extra security measures. If you're using your work phone, there might be certain organizational policies that would prevent certain apps from reaching out, or anything that is not completely vetted internally, or internal list of approved apps. You might face issues with those things. If that is the case, please reach out. If there is like any certain restrictions like that, ideally you can probably use another phone if that's possible. I'll also, meanwhile, I would like to see if I can do a quick screen share of my phone too, just so that you can see how the workflow really looks like. Okay, now let me get this set up. Okay, now in order to share this, okay. I hope you're able to see the screen with my I'm basically doing a screencast of my iPhone at this point in time. So we're going to select, so this is the email that you should have received, and you can open the email and just click on the activate device, and you can see that the app is going to basically launch. And you have to basically accept the terms and conditions. Nothing significant over there. It just confirms that all of you are going to be sending me boxes of Lindt truffles by the end of the session. So very easy, just simple terms and conditions. And then you can quickly do an enrollment of your face. And just as it happens, typically it should take about a couple of seconds, like literally 2 seconds, and then your face enrollment is done. And now you have successfully enrolled your biometrics. Now, this aspect of enrolling your biometrics ensures that whenever you are whenever you are going to be like submitting your wellness declaration, it affirms that this wellness declaration has been submitted by the right individual. And now we can quickly do a test verification in order to ensure that you're going to receive a step-up verification. All you have to do is, if you want to receive a step-up verification, please let my team members know. Oops, I think, yeah, the screencast would have stopped. I have to just start this again. If you let my team members know, they will be more than happy to generate a step-up verification for you. Meanwhile, I'm going to just start the broadcast once again. Okay, here we are back in business. And so what I'm going to do is I will try and generate a step-up verification, and you can see the should receive a step-up verification. So this is, let's say that the user has just tapped a card and you get a step-up verification. It's basically a simple list of questionnaire confirming that you meet with all of these things. I have not had contact with an individual with a probable or confirmed case of COVID-19. A whole list of like symptoms, that is all clear, thankfully. Being at home, not much contact really. Submit, and then you can confirm your identity using your face biometrics. And that's pretty much it. So, and there is also the convenience, like anytime that you want to self-declare, like you don't want to go up to the door, tap your card at the door and wait to receive a push verification. You're like, let's say you're just walking to the office from your parking lot. You can just click on this complete wellness declaration button that you see. There is also an option to decline it from the list of verifications that are available right there. Or you can complete this self-declare. You can initiate the whole thing by yourself. Just click on that button, answer everything. And if, let's say, a user does not comply with all of this, I've not come in contact, but I do have, like, say, an itchy throat or cough or something like that, you submit that, authenticate. Once again, it's always helpful if you're not moving. And then you can do another one. And it says that access cannot be granted because of the question, the way that responses have been submitted, the access cannot be granted. You can contact your security supervisor or someone else at this point in time. So that's a very simple workflow about how all of this is going to, the whole workflow is going to be from an end user perspective. I hope you have all given it an attempt. If you have already registered, if you have done your enrollment, you can quickly reach out to the team. They will be able to send you a push verification. Or you can just click on the complete wellness declaration button that exists on the request screen and therefore do a self declaration instead of receiving the step up. At this point, if you have any questions, clarifications that you would like about the solution, the whole experience, please feel free. I'm available, and we have our team members also. The first question I have is, would this be a good option for high traffic doors? Absolutely. So as you know, there is no difference from a user experience perspective. If they are going to be at the door, if it is a high traffic door, obviously we are going to encourage the users to use the self-declaration feature on the device so that they can just complete their wellness declaration before they arrive at the door, so that when they are at the door, they just have to tap and move on. However, if they have not already done that, then once they tap, they will receive a push notification at that time. And you can see that the whole experience is like very seamless. It's a couple of seconds that the authentication is going to happen and the user can get through. However, for high traffic doors, if you do not want to do a step-up verification using biometrics, there are alternative forms, such as like you can just keep it as like a card tap, so that the user just taps the card and then they go ahead. So in which case they would not have to step up using biometrics. They will still receive a wellness declaration if they have not already completed it, but there is not going to be a biometric verification that they would have to do. Then you can customize that only for certain high security doors. They are going to do a biometric verification. For a high traffic like common door, there is no need for them to do a biometric verification.
Hello, Praveen.
Hey, Brad. Hi.
Hi, Praveen. How are you doing?
Good, good. Thank you so much for joining.
No,
Good to
thank you.
connect with you again.
Likewise, likewise. Thank you for the presentation. What's the process for incorporating this into a work environment, and what will be the business model around this?
Absolutely. So it's a very straightforward process. You can just create an account in our BioConnect link portal, and you can just sign up, and we can create an account for you. And if you already have like an ACM through which you all the user credentials, your employees and everybody, all those details can be synced in. That's fantastic. Or else you can create users through our link portal. And then once you have created all the users, let me see if I can just quickly share that screen also.
What's the cost associated, Praveen?
I think that you can get in touch with our sales team for this, and they would be able to assist you best with the cost.
Gotcha.
For this. Yeah. It's, I think, the wellness declaration feature, and it depends, like, you want to use only the wellness declaration feature, then there are going to be like, there are customizations. So we can, the sales team would be best able to address those queries.
Gotcha.
Let me just quickly share our link screen with you. Okay. So this, are you able to see the screen now?
Yes.
So this is like, as you can see, this is where we have all the users. So this is a very intuitive, easily understandable interface. You can add the users. If it's not many users and there is no ACM, then you can just add all the users in here. And once the users are added, you can select all of them and just activate BioConnect Mobile. You can configure what sort of settings you want over here. We, of course, support other multi-factor authenticators also alongside BC Mobile, but The wellness declaration feature is available only on the BC Mobile. So you can just say that, okay, I'm enforcing wellness declaration, and whether you want to use biometric verification, whether you want to use card only, so that the users will just have to tap the card and get through the door, or you want to allow them to receive a simple yes no kind of like a feature, where they just tap that yes, I want to access the door, or you want to configure it for biometric verification. All of that is possible.
Gotcha. And would employees have to download the app on their phone individually? They would
Yes,
have
that's
to, right?
right. Yeah.
And is it available on the iPhone as well as Android, or is it
Yeah,
just
it's
available?
available on both iOS and Android platforms. Yep.
Okay.
Hi, Prav, can you hear me?
Hey, Mark. Yes.
Hi, I just wanted to answer the question on costing. So the costing is $1 per person per month for the wellness application.
For
So
the
it's just
wellness
simple user
declaration.
structure, Brad, per month.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Thanks, Mark.
Yep.
There is another question. I don't know, Mark or anybody else who would want to, again, related to this. What is your licensing model? Is it an all-included annual charge, or is there a setup charge and then a monthly or annual charge? Well, if you want to go with, I definitely, with respect to the annual or monthly, it really depends if you want to pay it on a subscription basis every month, or like you want to do like a one-time annual payment. That can easily be set up. It should be, both are possible.
Yeah, and the current, it's Mark again, the current approach on the subscription side is annual in advance, and but we can, depending on the requirement, please reach out and we're happy to discuss if depending on the arrangement, but that's typically how our customers are procuring our solution here.
We have another question. Can you customize the wellness declaration questions to suit my location's regulations? Absolutely. Like, as I mentioned, again, I can quickly show that over here. You can choose to do your wellness declaration. Once you have enabled it, you can edit the survey, and you can say, like, this is the default questions that have been put in there, but you want to add additional questions. You want to add like a different question, different wordings. All of that is possible. It is completely customizable based on different regulations that I know each province or different states may have. Yeah.
Hi, I was able to download the app and I see the activation button in the email, but when I click it, it goes to have me re-download the app. You know why it would be?
Are you on iOS or on Android?
I'm on iOS.
Okay. Sometimes I know that there is a aspect within iOS where the OS seems to redirect. And just another clarification, are you using a Microsoft Outlook for this, or is it like a native application, some other app that is being used for accessing the email?
The email is Outlook.
Okay,
There's a company phone.
I
So
see.
when I get the link and I click to open the app, which is already installed,
Right.
then asks me to scan a QR code, but there isn't a QR code to scan.
Yeah, so we can, there is another option where we can just add a QR code into the welcome email, so that users will then, what you have to do is you will have to open it on your desktop or your laptop and then scan the QR code. So that option is also there from an activation perspective. One thing is, again, because of any security policies that may be implemented, applied on the phone, when you click a link, it might not invoke the app because there is like a deep link connection that exists between that link and the app. It might not automatically allow for that app to get launched. And that is when at the OS level, you are being directed back to the App Store, to that particular, to the BC mobile app. But we can figure out, I think my team would be able to like send you a QR code so that you can just scan that QR code and activate it. But otherwise, we can also do a quick customization so that in the email, you can embed the QR code essentially, so that there are multiple options for a user to basically activate the mobile app.
Okay, thank you.
Is there a log of interactions kept for systems admins? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So every attempt that has been done, whether it is a self-declaration, whether it is like, when you tap your card at the door, there are going to be logs that will be available for auditing purposes. Yes. If there are no other questions, then I think so that brings us to the end of our session today. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, hold on. Is that some? Where is the biometric? Okay, where is the biometric data? This is a fantastic question. Thank you so much for asking this, Maxim. All your biometric information, face image, templates, all of that is going to be stored on the user's device itself. Nothing ever leaves the user's device. All the templates are encrypted. They are going to be stored on the user's device. So you can just quickly, even for those of you who already downloaded the app, you can do a quick reset and log out. So that's the button. If you click on if you click on the hamburger menu option on the right hand top screen, you will be able to see the reset and log out, and that option essentially will erase all of the data from the user's phone, including your templates completely. And that's pretty much it. So everything stays on the user's device itself. Nothing ever leaves the user's device. Even if, say, you were to port, take a backup of this and restore your phone onto a new phone, your templates will not move. That would be like, and if there is going to be if there's going to be a device level compromise, let's say that you unlocked or jailbroke your device, then all your templates and everything will be automatically destroyed. The app will not be usable. So there's a lot of security that has been baked in, because we definitely understand the sensitivity and the importance of biometric data, and have put in all measures to make sure that the user's information is going to be as securely handled as possible. Awesome. That was a good question. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope you found the session engaging, and it was not just another sort of like a webinar. I hope this whole interactive mode was very useful, and you got a first-hand experience of how the Wellness Declaration feature works. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you so much for your interest. And we look forward to continue to meet in the additional sessions that we will be organizing. Thank you, and make it a fantastic week.